Solo game developer is quite interesting, and I feels like I want to share about my cons and pros. I have been done solo game development for a couple of years, maybe 6 years something, and I'm not really sure, but I feels like I want to share the cons and pros. We're gonna start with the pros. The most thing I like, it's you can make whatever you want. You can make your dream game. If I want to put in a sheep as an enemy, I can do that. No one can say like no, nothing like that. And you can make your gameplay whatever you want. So that's something I like a lot. You have a freedom over your project, like over your game. You can do whatever you want. Then if we are talking about the time, that's something really good. I'm a person that like to do a lot of things. Sometimes I like to take this camera, go outside, maybe photo something. So you have a lot of time. You don't need to think about, example, someone gonna say you need to sit 8 hours and do the programming, or you need to do that. You cannot take pause. We have this deadline. You understand? You can choose your time how you want. You can take pause when you want. So you have a lot of freedom. You can do whatever you want. If you want to eat now, you can do that. You don't need to have a pressure. Example, someone gonna say the deadline is over soon. We need to push 5 hours per day with the coding or something like that. So yeah, the time is really awesome. You can use your time how you want. And there's something really good as a solo game developer. You can have example YouTube, you can have example Twitter, you can have Instagram, TikTok example. You can share everything about your game to your audience or the people. So that's something really good. If you're in a team, sometimes you cannot share anything. So that's something really awesome. You can share to everyone what you're working on, and the good thing when you're sharing to other people, your friends, or in YouTube or something, it's like a free marketing. So yeah, I like that a lot. I feels like insane there. It's a freedom. You can share your project if you want. You don't need to hide your project. You don't need to be silenced what's happening right now. If you want to make your major patch, yeah, you can talk about to everyone so they know what you're doing. So yeah, you're free to speak about your project. And of course there's some other things too, that example, how can I say this, you're learning a lot. You learn to have discipline and everything like that. You're learning how to programming, you're learning about graphics, you're learning about lighting. There's a lot of skills you're learning. That's something really awesome too. You can, if you want to have a portfolio or something, you can write down, you know how to make a good lighting, you know how to make a good 2D game, how 2D sprites. You're learning so much. So while you're making a game, you're learning so much. If you want in the future maybe join a team or something. Okay, we need to talk about the cons. That's important too. Did you remember I said that example, you learning a lot of skills, that's something very good. You're learning programming, you're learning the art, you're learning how to add sound and maybe making sound. You know, you did learn a lot, but that means development gonna be slower. It can take down your motivation, it can make your discipline not good, because you can feel like, oh, this taking a lot of time making the inventory. How can I create this inventory? Or I forgot, I need to put example UI so the inventory can look good. So it's gonna be a lot of work too. So that's something really bad to think about. If you don't have this discipline, it's gonna be really hard to get your motivation to create this. So that's something can be really bad for a solo game dev. And there's something bad too about promoting your game is really important. I did say that about YouTube and everything. But the bad thing here is like that's gonna take down your motivation too. It's like you're working really hard with your game. You're trying to push out, showing and promoting your game to the audience. But remember, doing this takes a lot of time too. We say if you want to make a Twitter account, maybe you want to make YouTube account or something, creating content, trying to promote your game, maybe you want to sell it in the future. So this gonna take a lot of time. It's gonna maybe take at least 1 to 5 hours a week just trying to promote your game. So this need a lot of discipline and motivation, and this can make your motivation for your game going down too. That's something really important to remember. Promoting your game takes a lot of time too, so that's a big con. And it feels like there's something that I want to talk about too that is cons. It's about lonely game dev. You can be very lonely working on your game. To be honest, this can be very unmotivated for some people. From begin, it feels great working on your game. You're sitting there, you're working, making levels, you're doing everything alone all the time. But over a long time, maybe 3 months, 6 months, maybe a year, some people starting to feel bad. They starting to feel like what I'm doing. It's like your brain starting to say something like you need someone to talk with. But of course there are people that can handle this. But I have read a lot in forums, and it feels like this for me too, that it can be very lonely sitting 10 hours a day, sometimes at the night time, working on the game. You don't have no one to talk to. Maybe you have that, but if you don't have a team, it's like maybe you're talking with your friend, they are maybe not interested, maybe they feels like you don't want to talk about that. So you're mostly time gonna sit there alone and try to make your game, and that can make your motivation really bad, and that can make you nearly quit your project. So that's something I would like to say it's really bad too, sitting alone and making the game. And that I feels like I can give you some tips, maybe not the best tips, but some tips maybe can help you for your solo game development. Being a solo game dev needs some good roadmap. You should write exactly, maybe not exactly, but you should put some text, putting some small deadlines, not deadlines that force you to really need to finish. Some can handle that, but sometimes can be good to have some soft deadlines, like I need to finish this inventory in this month. Next month I need to finish the character, maybe adding the puzzle in that. So making a small roadmap when you're making a game, it's gonna feel like achievement when you complete every roadmap. So create a roadmap, that's a great tips for you. And the other tips is like asking for feedback. Maybe you have a friend, maybe you have some forums in Discord or anywhere. If you have a YouTube channel, Twitter or something, try to ask for feedback, talking with people, asking what do you like about this gameplay, do you feel like this weapon are good or bad, do you like this feature I'm gonna add. Because when you're asking, you're getting more like, doesn't feel that I talk about lonely. So try to get some feedback, and feedbacks are really good because that can fix your game, maybe can help you with your roadmap for the future of the game. So feedback are awesome. And remember, these tips are really good and important. Take pause. I want to say that. I can say I did really break down because I didn't take pauses. So pauses are really important. Go out, take maybe 30, maybe 1 hour, try to go out or watch a movie. try to relax, not thinking too much about your game. I can say that if you're working with your game for a year or something, you need to take a break, take pauses. If you have a family or friends, go out with them. Try not only focus on your game, because that can be really bad. So yeah, take a break, take a pause, relax. It's gonna be more focus and motivation for your game, so yeah, do that. If you did like this, you can comment, and remember, subscribe, and maybe I'm gonna make a part 2 if I get some more likes. We need to see if people liked it. I'm gonna make a part 2. Have a awesome day.